when you fall down a flight of stairs, lose $500 on a flight cancellation, that's not really a perfect day. Yesterday morning, I woke up and I set up my day the way that I always do, went through my morning routine, and I was on track to having the day that I'd planned to have. I walked my nieces to school and I came back home and the house was quiet. I'm staying with my brother at the moment in Canada. And at about 9 o'clock, just after taking a shower, I got dressed, and as I came down the stairs, with my socks on the wooden floor, I slipped from the top step and flew all the way down, hitting every single step on my elbow and my ankle and my ass on the way down and landing in an untidy heap at the bottom. And so I lay on the couch while the dog licked me, and I got irritated with the dog, and it really wasn't her fault. And then I decided that I was going to man up, and I made myself some coffee. And I sat down to get through my to-do list, and the first email that I saw was a customer service email from a booking agent for a flight that I had booked probably about a week, maybe 2 weeks ago, and I needed the flight confirmation for a visa that I was doing. So I knew that I was never going to take the flight, and because I knew that I was going to be cancelling the flight, I paid an extra $70 for the ability to have a flexible ticket that allowed me to cancel the flight. So when I cancel the flight, it turns out that there's a $500 penalty that's not refundable, and of course that's buried somewhere in the fine print, and that was just another thing that came across in my day that just made me feel like I wasn't fucking winning. And I then started to get on with other things to do in my to-do list, and nothing seemed to be taking shape. I couldn't get anything done. I wasn't focused. Every single task that I started, I hit a roadblock, and I probably spent about 3 hours getting super frustrated until eventually I was like, I'm done with this. I'm giving up on today, and I'm going to start again later. And so I took the dog for a walk, and as soon as I got outside, like being outside and being out of the environment that I had been pushing so hard to try and solve and get my day back on track, had really just cleared a whole lot of space for me to take a breath. And instead of creating and building and getting stuff done, I decided rather just to be present, get into nature, spend some time walking Gia, and listening to a podcast, and suddenly I just felt so much better. And I spent the time unpacking what had got me to that, and just realizing that every single day we're not sure what's going to happen in our day. We don't know if we're going to fall down the stairs or if we're going to miss the fine print that the $70 that you paid for to be able to cancel a ticket meant that there's actually a $500 cancellation that is airport taxes that you're never going to be able to get back. And suddenly you realize that you can't always change what shows up in your day, and you can't always change how your day is going to turn out, but you do have the ability to be able to track yourself and see how you are in those moments. And what I should probably have done yesterday, maybe after the stair incident or maybe after the email incident, I could probably have taken a walk then and said, you know what, I can get to my to-do list a little bit later. But yeah, I spent the time tracking it, and later in the day, after spending 3 hours super frustrated, I realized that I also need those shitty days and those not so perfect days as a way to be able to know when I do have perfect days. If you only ever have perfect days, then what's the point of this whole thing? It feels like there's no point in doing anything, there's no point in trying. But when you have days that are not perfect and you have the self-awareness to be able to see what those things are and try and get that time down instead of butting your head for 3 hours continually trying to fix something which clearly is not going to be fixed in that state of mind, you have the ability to be able to change it around and change it into just a day and get through today and go to sleep tonight. Write down the things that you do in your post game, or you reflect on the things that you would do differently. And my post game yesterday looked like this. I would listen to myself, and when I get frustrated or I feel like I'm banging my head or meeting a roadblock on a specific task, that I will walk away earlier instead of continually trying to push and try and make whatever it is that I'm trying to do come into action. Maybe it's not supposed to be done today, and take the dog for a walk or stop the task that you're doing and come back to it later. So we're not always going to have perfect days, but being aware of where you are in your day at the moment, trying to get it back on track using some of the lifestyle design tools that we're working on developing in our community called Live More Perfect Days, gives you the opportunity to be able to get your day back on track, or put tasks aside that you can maybe tackle tomorrow when you're in a slightly better headspace. Looking forward to a slightly better day tomorrow. See you next time. Ciao.